Today is Friday, January 31st, 2020. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is our On the Grill Part 1 for Survivor Winners at War.
That's right. It's Freaky Friday here at the SFP house, and it's time to crank it up again. You excited?
I am actually, yes.
Yeah, you've been getting into it a lot. You've been consuming lots of preseason materials.
Doesn't seem like enough.
No? The sheer fact that you've seen all these people play before doesn't give you a foundation to work from?
No, it does. It's just that, there's a lot to think about.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, there is for me. You hadn't seemed to pay much attention.
We're coming at it from two different ends, I think. You're like, more.
I'm getting excited.
I want to know.
I'm getting more excited.
I'm like, yep.
And you're like,
okay.
Okay.
Let me know when you're ready. Yeah. I just kind of have my opinions of these folks, and having to listen to them.
Yes, we all know how opinionated you are.
That's true. And having to listen to them go on and on, but from their pregame perspective, didn't exactly entice me in yet. So
okay,
I have preconceptions about all these players, and I'm more than happy to share them in our On the Grill episode.
Oh Lordy, okie dokie.
That's pretty much where I'm at, pretty much where you're at. Do we need to say anything before we dive in?
No, I think we'll talk about a little bit about the new season at the end, but let's just go ahead and talk about the tribes and the people.
Great. So we've got Paul's amazing roster up on the screen.
Yay,
here.
Paul.
Thank you so much for that, and we'll be working from that as our reference point.
I've been working from it since he put it out, actually.
All right, and that'll be in the show notes, too, so you can take a gander at it, too. Who's up first?
The DeKalb tribe? Is that how we're going to say it?
Sure, until we know
hear differently.
Different.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, DeKalb, it's the red tribe, which includes Amber, Kim, Nick, Sandra, Sarah, Sophie, Tony, Tyson, Wendell, and Yule.
Mm-hmm. So I guess this is the first sort of interesting... It's a little bit of background context, that I'll give before we immediately kick off with Amber.
Boy.
Is that from what we've understood is that they start segregated by gender. So there's the women and then there's the men, and they
Preseason.
and then they actually come out on the beach at the very beginning, and they're grouped that way. You can see them in some of the videos where the women come walking in after the men are already there.
Yes.
But we're working from the fact that we understand they're in these tribes.
Right.
So this is who they're going to begin the game playing with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
and that's why some people mistakenly thought it was going to be men versus women.
Mm-hmm.
They talk about it in the ET Canada interviews.
Yeah.
Natalie's just sure that it's
relevant.
Women versus men.
Yeah, and it's relevant, too, for our first player, Amber.
Ooh, Amber. Amber's 40 years old now. They're living in Pensacola, Florida, and she must be working. She says she's the director of marketing and communications. Doesn't say for what. Maybe it's Rob.
Yeah.
This is Amber's third time playing, right?
Yep.
She was on the Outback and All-Stars, which she won.
And her and Rob start out on different tribes. So that's where I was going with that.
Oh, that's a given. You knew they weren't going to put them on the same tribe. That would have been, I don't even think that would have been fair. It would have made it even more easy to pick them off. My thoughts are if Rob goes out early, then Amber probably has a better chance to stay in a while, even though I don't know if she'll stay in very long. I'm just not sure if the cast underestimates Amber's gameplay or not. Some people might think that she and Rob did the win together and that she was just more likable. I've heard things like that before.
Sure, that's the common sort of thread
I think
with All Stars.
she had talked about Rob told her to be careful of Sandra. So if she's targeting Sandra, Sandra will go after her hard as a bigger threat.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think they're going to be targeting each other from the beginning.
Interesting. Yeah, that seems very likely.
Well, everybody should be concerned with having a couple in the game.
Yeah.
Nobody else is in a couple. Well, they probably are, but not ones that are obvious.
No, I think there are some obvious pairs that everyone will be aware of and be wary of.
Yeah,
So,
maybe.
and we're going to talk about another one here in this tribe shortly.
Yep. Well, I don't think Amber will be willing to work with Sandra. I could be wrong, and she may not know. They've never met each other. But because Rob told her to watch out for her, I think she's going to try to target her. And yet I could see her and Kim bonding over their daughters because they're moms. And if Rob goes out early, I think she has a chance to slide through for a little while. But I have her not making the merge.
Okay. Yeah, I have her making the merge for that exact reason because I do believe Rob's going to go early, and that's going to cut her some slack. And I don't believe she's perceived as threatening. She doesn't represent, there's some big threats for different reasons here on her tribe, and I think she has, and she's demonstrated the ability to sort of fly under the radar before. Not so much when they paired up for All Stars, but in Outback, she certainly demonstrated that capability, and she doesn't come across as like in-your-face forceful, at least historically. I actually do have her making the merge, but it really depends on having Rob go.
Yeah. Well, and I thought she could slide through because there are other bigger threats. But,
Exactly. Hence under the radar, right?
Yeah, but I still am not sure that
Okay,
they're going to let her get through. I'm going to stick with the no merge.
Okay.
So we differ right off the bat. How about that?
Right out of the gate.
How unusual. Okay, anything else with Amber?
Nope.
Kim Spradlin Wolf.
She's finally back. Yeah.
She's 36 now, living in Texas, an interior designer, and the winner of One World. I still love that Kim is such a big fan of the show.
Yeah.
I love it when everybody, even Sandra's a big fan of the show. She says because she's such a big fan that she could have trouble playing with these women because she's going to be fangirling on them. I find that
Yeah, I don't believe that.
harder to believe.
Yeah, she's much more pragmatic normally.
I would
I mean,
think
everyone
so.
changes over time, but
You know, I think she's going to miss her kids. She didn't have kids last time she was out there, and that's very different. So I think that will be harder for the new mothers out there.
the thing I remember most about her is how connected she was. Few people have won and had so many options for who to go to the end with. She had connections to everyone, and that's a really powerful capability to have. That's why she really stands out for me. And she won, and we've got two people on here who won in a super dominant fashion. And the downside to their wins that people reference is that there were basically a group of zombies for Rob and not too sharp players for Kim, and that those two both took advantage of them. Kim did it her first run right out of the gate with no prior experience in the game, but she made sure that she had her social game was really tight. So I think that's why she's a huge threat to win still.
Well, she says she's very afraid of Sandra, which she should be. But that makes me think that, she could pair up with Amber and some of the other people right off if it's a common goal to get Sandra out.
There's a Sandra killer here on the tribe.
That's right. So, but she says she doesn't think that she'll be viewed as a big threat. Yet in most of the interviews,
not true at all.
everyone mentioned her. So is she just playing that down?
Yep.
Or is she not self-aware enough to know that her name comes up most often?
She's smart. She knows that she's viewed as one of the most dominant winners in the history of the game.
So nice, though.
Yeah.
You can't imagine her being so devious, but
So I definitely have her making the merge, even though she is viewed as such a huge threat.
and I put no merge.
Okay.
I thought surely these people, because they all like Kim's the best game. Kim kept coming up. I wanted to say she's going to make the merge, but I couldn't because of that. So I put no merge. We still are on opposite sides.
Yes, we are.
Here we go.
Yep. Moving on.
I hope she stays because I like her.
I want to see what she can do against more formidable competition. So I look forward to seeing her prove herself in that regard.
Well, Nick's 28 now, but, he's a recent player, a recent winner. And
He is the most recent winner in the
of
cast.
this season, of David versus Goliath. And that could hurt him because some of these old school players may not trust the new school players.
Yeah, I guess if you're hunting for a reason, that's a reason.
Or maybe they could want to connect with him to let him maneuver through the areas they're not familiar with. Maybe they can learn something.
How do you think that he'll be viewed? We've been talking about that as we looked at each one of them. So Amber's got that win with Rob, and it's viewed as, Rob playing a huge part in that. And Kim's got her win with all her social connections and viewed as one of the most dominant winners in the history of the game. How do you think Nick's going to be viewed? He took Mr. Schneebly and the Rice Queen to the end and beat them.
I kind of think that they'll discount him a little bit.
I kind of set it up for that. But yes, I agree. That's certainly where I'm leaning to.
Though I think he's got more game than even we've given him credit for, listening to him talk about it.
He's definitely got aptitude for the game.
Yes.
Yeah. But he's also got this temper that kind of unwinds him at times.
Yeah, I tend to
when things
discount
aren't going
him
his
too.
way. Yeah, come on, you beat Mr. Schneebly and the Rice Queen. That doesn't really count for a whole lot in the scheme of things.
Well, he's planning to push but I don't know any of you people, and so I'm a totally free agent. I'm available. And people like Tyson's going to eat that up, even if he doesn't mean it. He'll make Nick believe it. And he could use that. He can use him for that.
I think because he's not viewed as a strong winner, and it is recent, and they've got a pretty good idea of how he played if they were keeping up with the game, that will actually work to his advantage, and it will allow him to make the merge because he won't be viewed as a threat.
Well, he had mentioned wanting to work with Yule, and if he ended up being able to work with Yule, he would dub them the geniuses. So
that's right. He's got names for all his alliances, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
everyone's going to be quizzing him on that. He doesn't get to do that in secret this time.
Yeah. So because I don't think he'll be seen as big a threat as Tyson and Tony and Sandra and Kim and Sarah.
Exactly.
Then I have him making the merge because he can be used as a vote, at least, for the time being. And there's so many bigger threats on the tribe.
All right, that's the first one we agree on.
All right. Sandra.
Sandra's back.
Sandra's only 44. Seems like she's been around a lot longer.
Okay.
Okay, she's still, middle age.
This is her fourth game, right?
Well,
I didn't say appearance because she got to
okay.
be a mentor in the Island of the Idols.
yes.
That we just saw. But this is her fourth time playing the game.
Yes, it is. And she won Pearl Islands and Heroes versus Villains. And got sent home in Game Changers. I still love Sandra, but I just cannot imagine. Of course, I thought this last time too. I just couldn't imagine that they're going to let her stay very long. I mean, why wouldn't you get Sandra out?
Sure.
I just don't.
Well, and
She's won twice.
She benefited from being on a winning tribe, too, as I
And
recall.
she was on last season. So, though you look at Sandra and you think, okay, and she's not all that physical. She doesn't physically threaten me, and she works good around camp, and that's good to have, and this and that and the other. I could see people making a case for, oh, we'll let her hang around a while, but I'm thinking Tyson's going to want her out, and probably Tony, and we know Amber is already kind of. So that's why I'm thinking I put her as my first out if this tribe loses.
Yeah, and the next person we're going to talk about is the one that was there when they got rid of her.
Yes.
She's already gotten rid of her and beat her.
Well, and she talks about that. Sarah says, I am the best player. Because Sandra's beat everybody else, she said, but I'm the only one that's
beat
beaten
her.
the two-time winner.
Yeah.
I'm the only one that beat her.
Yeah, I think there's
And I
something
thought,
to that.
Okay, well, you got a point there. Little on the arrogant side,
You
but
don't want to
true.
hide from it. Well, talk about arrogant. There's Sandra.
Well, hey, true. Anyway, I just think it'd be too easy just to go for Sandra, the easy vote out.
Yep.
Though I think there could even be people that should go ahead of her.
Oh, and I believe there will be. Yeah.
So you don't think she's first out?
No, I don't think she's first out.
No. Well, I was kind of thinking they'll just go for her so they can relax about it. So no merge for me.
No merge for me, too. We are in
We
agreement on
agree
another one.
again. Okay, now let's talk about Sarah. She's 34 now and still a police officer. And she is the most recent female winner. So they're still going to remember her game, I think.
Well, they'll remember her game because it's one of the scariest games that people have ever
scares
seen.
me. You know how you used to talk about Sandra, how she scares you? Sarah would scare me. I'd vote her out just as quickly as possible because she scares me. She's hardcore.
Yes, and she can flip it like a switch. I think that's what really unnerves
Take
people.
no prisoners.
Yeah.
It's just like, woo.
Her approach to things. It's like, yes, we can have a friendly conversation, and in that moment we were friends. But if you tell me that you're going to will me an advantage when and if you get voted out, I will help you get voted out just as soon as possible.
I will help you will that to me.
Yes.
Yep.
Gonna
And
make
that's-
that possible.
That's great. I mean, it's great gameplay. I'm not saying she's not a great at her gameplay.
She's a scary winner.
It's still scary, and she can
And it's
be
not
so serious.
It's
and-
not a
Ooh.
social scare. It's not you're scared because she's so socially adept at the game and making connections and people are gonna want to vote
Yep.
for her. It's just she outmaneuvered me at every single step of the game. That kind of thing.
Yep. Well, and she talks about in her interview that she truly believes she can do anything. So much so that last year she completed the World Challenge of Marathons, which was 7 marathons on 7 continents, 7 consecutive days.
Which is all the
That's
continents.
inhuman.
Yeah.
I just don't know how anybody could be in
Yeah.
that great. You've done marathon, a marathon anyway.
Marathon, yes.
But goodness gracious, to do 7?
To turn around and do it 6 more times is mind-boggling. Yeah.
That's what. Just her telling that was enough to intimidate the heck out of me.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, that's impressive.
She's got that
Good on
Terminator-like
her.
quality to her.
Oh yeah. And she's like, I can
So,
do anything.
What did you come down to? What's her fate?
Well, I thought all of this and this wonderful confidence, she's so observant, she's sneaky, she reads people well, she's confident, physically fit, she talks well at the final tribal about her gameplay, and on and on and on. I said no merge. They are crazy if they let her go to the merge.
I got her making the merge. I think that there's going to be enough wins so that she ends up dodging that bullet. Not that they're going to be other people voted off this tribe, but I don't think it'll be her.
Oh, if she goes to the end, I think she could definitely win.
The potential's there.
Another
yeah.
reason that she's a little too hardcore for my liking, at least the way she played the last time. But I just thought, I know she can make the merge. I know she can win. But I'm just going to say
So
no
you
merge.
put no merge because you don't want
no
her
merge,
to win.
She scares me.
Okay.
It was like, ha.
Good deal. All right, we differ again. I got
Okay.
her making the
All
merge.
right.
I think she's gonna bury Sandra again
It's good to differ sometimes.
and some other folks. Yeah. So
All right, Sophie.
Sophie's back.
Yep,
Been a long time.
29 now. She was 21 when she played before, and she says she's got a lot more life experience to draw from. She still talks about being an introvert, but she's able to get out of that at work on her job. So her husband has told her to just pretend you're at work and play your social game.
Okay.
And so
We'll see.
she's going to try to do that. But I thought, yeah, but at work, you're fed, you have sleep, you're not,
Right.
not paranoid and under as much stress as you're going to be out there. So I am not cheering for Sophie to win. I just don't think that would be fun for me. And
Well, it wasn't a fun season that she won, and so I think
No,
some of that
I think that
South
rubbed
Pacific,
off.
yeah, had
I
some.
mean, I've
weird
met her.
moments.
She was perfectly nice.
Mm-hmm.
But she is kind of hardcore too and very shifty. So if she and Sarah.
Oh, she's cold and brutal at heart. That's my recollection of her.
Yeah. Well,
And they share that quality. Yeah.
I know. And that's why I thought if they could merge there.
You know what I have as a recollection I heard that it was probably a little different than Sarah, though, is that Sophie had a condescending vibe. And she was there's a group of people here that will make fun of you during the course of the season. And I don't think...
Tyson.
Exactly. I don't think that's an unknown element.
No, it's not.
And so in her confessionals, you would expect that in the past at least, that there's the same kind of element that's going to be working with her. So you've got, like you said, Tyson. He absolutely makes fun of and talks about people behind their back in their confessional. Boston Rob's done that from the very beginning, and Marquesas, and took great delight in doing that. And so I think that sort of contempt that they have for others and their willingness to do that in their confessionals is something that won't go unnoticed. And I think that's something that's just going to shade them from before the game even begins. So that's great. She's got more life experience and that she's going to try to come at the game a different way. I still feel like that element, that condescension or contempt, whatever it is that caused her to behave that way, is probably still fundamentally at the root of her game and how she's going to interact with people. And even if it's not, that perception of all three of them
Maybe she and
is
Tyson
there.
will get along well.
Possibly.
Do you have her making the merge?
No, I don't. And it's for that reason. It's that perception of her as someone that won't present me in a flattering light. And you got some huge egos here. You got 20 big egos, people who have won $1 million on the public stage.
Well, here's the strange thing for me. I put merge. I don't necessarily want her to make the merge.
Okay.
But
you're cheering against her.
Because there's so many other stronger targets, in my opinion.
Makes sense. I get where you're coming from.
She's going to squeak by.
And she's hoping she can fly under the radar, I'm sure.
Yep, I'm sure she is.
She did that to some degree previously.
And hopefully she'll lay a little low to try to do that. But that's why I put her making the merge.
Gotcha. And I got no merge because she's a threat to how I'll be perceived by others. You know, saying that from the perspective of the other players. And I just don't want that out there. And
Amber,
she's
Kim,
smart and dangerous.
Sarah.
Amber does not represent a threat. Sarah does.
Amber does, as long as
I know
Rob's in the game.
Sarah's not one that's gonna talk behind your back about how dumb you are, I don't think, or how you made some tactical strategic mistake. Not the same way that Sophie does.
No, I don't think she would be as condescending as Sophie, but
Sarah's bigger problem too is that Tony's in this tribe with her and they've got that history, so there's a pair
yeah.
right out of the gate in this tribe.
Well,
So
people
while she
see
beat
'em as a
Sandra
pair?
and they're both cops. They both won, and she won by modeling her game after his. She's like the better version of him.
Well, then maybe she'll go after him instead of Sandra. Okay, so we differ again
Right?
on Sophie. Now to Tony.
Yep.
He's 45 now, still a police officer. And he still has the lie and backstab mentality. He said he doesn't plan to play any differently in that way. And he totally refuses to plan a strategy until he's in the game. And he
smart.
fully believes that's what threw him off the second time he played. He went in thinking he knew.
He had all these strategies for game
And then they
changers.
threw something else in there, and it shook him up, and he couldn't rebound.
Yeah.
And so he thinks that's what went wrong. And so he is adamant about not doing that this time.
Yeah, he had the advantage on the first win, the unknown and all that, all the different things that he had going. But that was exactly what worked against him in game changers, and he left early.
And it's good that he's going to try to, take his personality down a notch, but I don't really see him being able to do that.
Nope, not at all.
I think he's going to try, but and he wants to win an individual immunity challenge this time. He hasn't done that.
Right.
And he would like to while he's out there. He's never got to wear the necklace, so... And he wants to play with those big egos. So I expect him to want to play with Tyson if he wants to play with the egos.
Yeah.
And he thinks that would be an advantage for him because he thinks all the people that think they're celebrities for being on the show are just silly.
Yes.
And because he doesn't feel that way. But so he thinks they're silly for that. But
Merge, no merge. What did you come up
I
with?
put no merge.
Yeah, I could see why. We're going to differ again. I've got him making the merge.
And I like Tony, but I don't think he can dial back his personality. And
I'm really thinking it's by benefit of being on a winning tribe.
though it could help him that he lost a season after he won.
He's one trick pony. He's one and done. You don't got to worry about him. He's going to try some kind of variation on his spy shack, and he's going to run around and titter to the camera.
Yeah.
But is he really a threat to people who play the game at this level?
I think there were a lot of people that did like his game, and that there'll be enough of those that will vote him out. So,
I'm thinking he's going to catch a break, basically.
okay, so you said merge?
Yes.
All right, we disagree again. Okay, Tyson. I do like Tyson. I know he's snarky, and he's still kind of snarky. Being a dad hasn't mellowed him too much.
No, that's at his core. That contempt for others, the making fun of them kind of thing that he does. That's at the core of who he is, I believe. So,
Well, it's what he does.
It's rewarded him
and
with-
it's his shtick.
yeah, exactly.
So,
We're just saying the
You know.
same thing, different ways.
yeah, it's his shtick, so he's going to stay with it. And he thinks it's an advantage not to weigh as much when you go out there. Because he said for all the challenges, they configure those according to your pregame weight. So he thinks if you come in smaller than what they weighed you in as pregame, then the challenge will be a little easier.
Okay. Well, that
So-
seems a bit broken logic to me.
Okay. And he's got
But
all
it's just an
this-
excuse for why he wouldn't go through the effort
Yeah.
to put on some
Well,
pounds.
no, he said he did. That he did work out. He did a lot of different things. He did some exercises and that kind of thing. And he still won't have any problem cheating. He doesn't think. They ask him about his kids now that he's a dad, and he's like, "No, that's just part of the game." He didn't think that would make him look bad in front of his kids, like some people would. And but he's
good.
got
You
all
gotta-
these series of elaborate lies he's thinking through that he's going to tell people and make them believe it. That, oh, I saw something, before it started, and so got paid $200,000 to come back, and how much did you get, or something, and hearsay, so
Distract
they
and
can't verify.
undermine. That's one of his tactics. Yeah.
Yep. And he is planning to do that, and probably still steal food or not share
Like he
it
did
as
before.
much. Yeah, just
I
like
mean, that's
before.
what he's known for in
Yeah.
the blood versus water win. Here, I opened a coconut. I drank half of it, and then I gave the rest to the tribe.
Yeah, yeah.
Or here's some hidden food. Again, this is that person that's going to make fun of you. This
Yep.
is that person in their confessionals is going to be talking about why he's smart and you're dumb. How much do you want that in the game? How much do you want that out there? How long do you want it out there? And you look at the composure of this tribe. They've got some young, fit guys. Well, not all young, but they're fit. So could you lose Tyson and be okay, even though he can be a big help in especially physical challenges? You'd be okay losing
Tony's never
him.
been that good in challenges.
He's not a superstar for sure. Yeah.
So, Wendell, yes. Yule, yes. Though Yule says he's not as strong now, but sure.
You
they
could
keep
stand to
about it.
lose Tyson, and for this reason, and the contempt, and how he plays, and how you're going to be viewed beside him, that's why I've got him as a no merge.
Ha!
So he's my third no merge in this
We
tribe.
agree.
Okay.
I put no merge, and if he does make the merge, he'd be out shortly after. But I chose no merge. So I think they certainly should get Tyson out.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think he's one of the ones that has one of the biggest targets on his back.
Sure.
Because he's charming and devious and funny.
Although it would be fun to see him goof himself up again, like when he voted himself out of Heroes versus
Oh,
Villains.
Lordy, don't.
Even in
I don't want to see that.
Blood versus, yeah, why not? That was funny. Even in Blood versus Water, I think he was sitting on an immunity idol when they pulled rocks. He's just known for doing really haphazard things. I don't know that he's someone that you can count your game on, that you would, when you got someone who's going to play that erratically. Anyway, we said no merge. Moving on. Who's next?
Wendell, winner of Ghost Island, he thinks it's a disadvantage that he won not very long ago. And he said Dom's tip to him before he came out told him to, try
Find
to
a Dom.
not be too out there and to not build so many dang things. That he
Yeah, we later learned he spent a
Lay
lot of his
low a
time
little bit.
crafting, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, don't do that. Just kind of try to stay under the radar a little bit more out there and don't build all kinds of things and draw attention.
He's got a really chill game. He's not that threatening, I don't think, and especially relative to the rest of his tribe.
That could help him, though, because he said he might try to play a little dirtier game this time. And he wants to try to stay in the middle. Not happening. He's too big a guy and physically fit. I don't see him being able to hang in the middle very well. And
Well, he's got Tony in front of him. He's got Tyson in front of him.
that's
He's
true. That's
probably
true.
got Yule in front of him just on the initial makeup of the tribe. So I don't know that. I mean, Nick's the little guy in that group, not Wendell.
Oh no, Wendell's one of the bigger guys.
I don't think that he's the most standout threatening, though.
He thought that Jeremy had the best game, but he liked Tony's game as well. So I don't know if that makes him want to align with Tony or makes him want to get him out. But those are two people that he did mention in his interview, and he thinks Tyson's very witty and cool to watch. Whether he wants to play with him or not, I don't think so, because he mentioned that he would like to get out Tyson, Rob, and Sandra.
Mm-hmm.
So, who's the first target, Sandra or Tyson?
Yeah.
Anyway, I have him definitely making the merge.
I also have him making the merge.
And I thought he could go deep in the game, and I could see somebody like Wendell winning. I could see him for sure.
Yeah. Likewise.
Yeah.
Just
And-
because he's got that chill.
Well, they're going to want to keep him
Middle
for his
place.
strength, I think, and because he's mild-mannered, easygoing,
Yeah.
probably pleasant to be around. So, and he's not hard on the eyes either. So
Plus, who doesn't want to have a furniture designer as a friend
there you go.
after the game?
Build me something to sit on, and I'm yours forever.
Yeah.
So, out there anyway.
Okay, so we both got Wendell making the merge.
Yay!
Next up,
Yule.
Yule is
He's
finally back. One of the most
44 now.
beloved players in the history of the game.
He and Sandra are the same age. Okay, yeah. It's been, 14 years since he played. I'm happy to see Yule again. And he just seems like such a nice person. But I hope he's not too nice with this group. He wants to build bonds of trust. And in this new age way of playing, I don't know. Well, who else on that tribe would that impress? I just think it would make them want to
Kim,
use him.
Amber, Wendell. No, Wendell knows about trust, right? That's what he and Dom had.
He and Dom had that.
So, yeah, I think Wendell would be drawn to that for sure.
Well, that could be.
There's plenty. I
that
think there's
four,
plenty
those
of
four could be strong.
plenty of room for Yule to maneuver in that tribe.
Well, he wants to sit back and let the bigger egos go after each other, and just sit back and watch. And so,
And you got Sandra, Tyson, and Tony to fill those roles.
well, and some of those people are going to try to take advantage of him because he's a nice guy. But
Yep.
he said he felt
He's
a lot
a smart guy, though.
yeah, he said he doesn't have the body he used to have or the strength, but that he'd done a lot of work on balance. But he said, I thought it was so cute. He said, but I get hurt easily. He said, and I don't have a lot of stamina. So if that's true, that could hurt him in the game.
Yeah.
But he said he felt compelled last time because of the Cook Islands format that he had to represent his community. And he said he doesn't feel that now. So he feels like he can play any way he wants to. So if he wants to play, a more devious game, that he feels free to do that. So that's kind of cool too. But I don't know.
I think they're lying to themselves a little bit when they say that, because
It's
all these
not
people
his personality.
have legacies. And Yule's got a pretty high up on a pedestal legacy, even though he got there by way of a super idol, and
Yeah,
a lot of things broke his way.
I think he's a stand-up kind of guy, and I
Yeah.
just don't know if he can.
That's why a lot of people be
Can
drawn
do
to
it.
wanting to play with him.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So I said merge for Yule.
Yep, me too.
And that he could go deep in the game as well and even win if he stays under the radar. He's another one I thought, well, he's a possibility for me.
Yep.
All
All right.
right.
That
Whoa.
completes the DeCall tribe.
It does. All
Moving on.
right. What is this one? Sele?
Sele.
Red tribe. Oh,
Blue.
No, blue tribe. I typed that wrong and neither one of us got it.
Yep.
Okay, that consists of Adam, Ben, Danny, Denise, Ethan, Jeremy, Michelle, Natalie, Parvati, and Rob. Goodness.
First up, we've got Adam Klein.
Adam's 28 now, and I do really love that Adam is such a huge fan of the show, and that he always has been. And I don't think that he totally won because of his story about his mother.
That's the
being
perception,
ill.
though.
That is the perception, but
Is that he had a sentimental win.
yes, but a lot of the people that was on his jury said that's not true. So I have to at least, leave that as a possibility because
Could be.
they said so too. So, but I can't say he was one of my favorite winners.
No.
I don't know. I just feel, And I do like that he's been, not only did he visualize playing Survivor, winning, he visualized coming back on a winner's season and winning again.
You just described everyone up there.
Well, no, I don't know that I'm sure they all thought about it.
Look,
but
anyone
he's
who wins
saying
$1 million
he
visualized
that,
Yeah, I know. That
as a child
he actively practiced visualizing.
before he ever
Yeah.
played.
Okay.
That's the difference.
Okay.
I'm sure they've all visualized it. I would have.
Exactly. That's
I
nothing
could visualize
special.
that too.
You're
Wouldn't
gonna have
happen, but I could do
to
it.
find something else to make you stand out.
Yeah. Okay. I think he's a little overconfident.
Yeah.
But
That's another thing that he was known for.
Yeah.
And he had a little bit of the condescension for others that caused him some challenges in his previous season.
now, because he does want to play and team up with Denise, that could get him deeper in the game.
Sure.
And I kind of think they will reach out to him because they don't perceive him as much of a threat. And maybe Ben, too, the newer players. I kind of think they might reach out and either use them or think maybe they could manipulate them, those strong women. Woo!
I guess it's possible. I chose to look at it a different way, and that
Okay.
the sentimental win was more of the color there, and for that reason, and that that being his primary play or tactic there,
Well,
that he would not make the merge.
and
that
you could
he's
see-
someone to be
yeah.
taken out.
Yeah, you could totally see him as an easy vote out, and that's just an easy choice. I could see that. So, but
Now he's on a tribe with someone who did the same thing before him. My wife's pregnant with our baby, and I learned that the baby is, that's what Jeremy had done prior to Adam getting his chance to play. So they both have this history of these perceived sentimental wins.
yeah. Well, I chose to say he probably makes the merge because there's so many other perceived big threats ahead of him. And that's the only reason. Okay, Ben, I can't pronounce. I always,
Drybergen.
it's not Drybergen. To hear him pronounce it, it doesn't look like this
Okay.
when he says it. Drieberger. Drieberger.
All right.
Drieberger. I think's how he says it or something. Drieberger. I don't know.
Moving on.
He's 36.
Yeah.
He tells us he is,
won Heroes, Healers, and Hustlers.
Yes, and he has announced that he will be wearing his lion print underwear for fun out there.
Okay.
Alrighty then. Thanks for sharing.
Known for his bin bombs.
He said last time he ate a lot before he went out to play.
Yeah, he's
And
smaller this time.
Yeah, he's way smaller. And he said he did the absolute opposite this time and worked out a lot. Now, that made me think, has he been talking to Tyson
Okay.
about this being thinner, going out there kind of thing? He did find a lot of idols last time, and that's why...
That's what he's known for, yeah.
Yep, and he said he wants to win. He intends to win, but he wants to do it with his social game this time to prove to all the haters out there that he deserves to be there. He deserved his spot. And the other thing that made me think of, he's a stay-at-home dad too, like Tyson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he suffers from the Missy fans. Isn't that her name? Missy?
Missy?
Yeah.
Chrissy?
Chrissy.
Me?
Yeah,
Okay.
I did that before, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah.
That's what clued me in. It's
Yeah,
like,
he's
he's talking about Chrissy.
She, whatever reason her name doesn't stick with me. A lot of them wanted her to win, thought she was the more deserving winner. He found idol after idol, won immunity challenges, and then was the first beneficiary of the Final Four fire making challenge, which gave him his shot. At which point,
Well, it did.
he then won by way of his social game and the story he was able to tell at the end, which is what he gets discounted for. So
That's right.
he's got some gamesmanship, and he's good at finding those things too. So
Yeah,
just
and
like Tony.
he says he doesn't want to be out front. He wants to have his own shields ahead of him, but he wants to have at least one ride or die.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Not
thought,
sure who that'll be for him.
Tyson.
That's a different tribe.
I know, but if they stay in there. Yeah, I think that he'll be pursued some too, because he's kind of can be easygoing and kind of a seems like a good old boy too. So he's a nice guy, and so I think the women even will be more drawn to the nicer guys than. Well, I don't know. Rob acts nice, but I think everybody will be so afraid of him. They're going to see him as the evil Rob that's already been there too much.
Okay. What do you got for Ben? Merge, no merge?
Oh, merge.
Yeah, I got him making the merge too. I think he'll, like you said, he'll make some connections. There's some folks there that'll want to work with him. Ethan, Denise, Michelle.
Yeah.
Happy to work with him. Jeremy.
Well, yeah, and he's a bigger guy than Adam and even Ethan and Rob. I think he's bigger and stronger than them. So I don't think he can get to the end, though.
Moving on.
Danny Boatwright.
She's back.
43 now, winner of Guatemala.
Yeah.
Haven't seen her in a long time.
Yeah.
I've always liked Danny, and she was definitely a formidable player in Guatemala.
So smart. She was known for outfoxing the production company, the producers, hiding her game from them, not giving them too much, because she was scared that they would inadvertently pass information on to the other players by way of questions and things like that. So, yeah, her win in beating Stephanie the way she did, she was, like several of these people on here, outnumbered.
Well, the only thing that kind of concerns me about Danny out there right now is that she's talking about she's had a couple of very rough years, that her dad died a couple years ago, and she's been taking care of her mother and a brother that's an addict, and that she needed this at this time, which is
the mom on vacation plea.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Well, yeah. Well, that's.
I don't know. We'll get to see the best side of her.
Yeah, and
if she's escaping.
Yep, and she has the kids. That's what kind of put me off a little bit from. I went ahead and stuck with it because I don't know.
She's skilled at being under the radar.
She's skilled.
The thing that worries me is I'm looking at her picture and it's like, oh, she's got duck lips now. That's just that.
What has that got to do with anything?
It demonstrates poor judgment.
Jeez. In your opinion.
Exactly.
Or beauty in hers.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. She says she's mentally tough and competitive, but
we know she is.
Emotions can break you down, and especially in that environment. So, and she says she's loyal, but she's good at being sneaky. And so, I don't know. I kind of thought she and Denise might hit it off. And she says she's not going to be paranoid, but she's going to make certain that others are. Mm-hmm. So she's planning to be devious in that way, too.
She's definitely demonstrated that skill before, getting in people's heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she says Sandra cannot win a third time. So, luckily, Sandra's not on her tribe, because...
At least in the beginning.
In the beginning, because she definitely wants to target her.
So I got her making the merge because of her skill set and because there are other much, much bigger heads to hunt.
Oh, yeah, I totally have
tribe.
her making the merge. And I'm not sure where she'll place, but I think I ended up putting her in my Final Four or something, in spite of all that.
Gotcha.
But do you realize she talked about she's 5'10"? When she left Guatemala, she'd lost a ton of weight.
Yeah.
She was 96 pounds at 5'10".
Yeah.
She really was. I remember her being just skeletal.
Yep.
Wow. Anyway, we'll see what Danny can do this season. We know she's a good player. Okay, Denise, another good player. She's 48 now, though.
Amazing player.
One of the older people out there.
Mm-hmm.
But, and she's a therapist, which I think gives you a little leg up, too.
Or a big leg up, yes.
Yeah. So,
she won the Philippines, season 25. And the thing about her game was that she went to every single tribal council.
Yes,
in
and
that
everybody knows it because it's been talked about and talked about and talked
Yeah.
about. She's the underdog, went to every tribal council, and she won anyway. So that puts that big target on her.
Yeah, there should be a target
There
on her.
should
She's
be.
formidable.
Absolutely. But I've been toying with having her as my USB 24
Mm-hmm.
to win this thing.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm leaning toward her a lot. But
Well, there are good reasons for doing that, for sure.
Yeah,
And I'm excited to see her. There's some folks on here I'm not as excited as much to see, but she's definitely at the top of my
and
list.
she talks about though that she's a crappy liar. She doesn't do that well. So
Mhm.
I hope that doesn't, she doesn't get eaten up with that, not being able to lie.
Well, she doesn't have an Abby Normal hounding her and driving her nuts this time. I don't think there's one of those in this group, so I think that'll work to her advantage.
Well, she'd already said she didn't want to align with sneaky players like Sarah and Sandra, but does she know Danny's sneaky? Probably not. Maybe.
I think she'll know her competition
Yeah, she probably went back and watched everything over and over.
because
So
she keeps
she might.
up with the current seasons. I've seen her
I can't-
commenting on them.
I keep thinking these women are going to band together, though.
Hmm.
This group of women and pick off men, or I think they'll pull in at least a couple of the guys, but I don't know. That's just my thought.
Well, I definitely got Denise making the merge.
Oh yeah,
I think she's
merge.
got all the criteria, and she's got just a huge target standing ahead of her.
Yep.
So she's got plenty of meat shields.
Merge Final Four, possible winner. Ethan. Way, Ethan's back. Ethan's 45
That's exactly the reason that he won't make the merge.
now. I know. I actually have him no merge.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you?
Yeah, I have him no merge also.
Okay,
He's this
well.
big sentimental cancer survivor favorite. So
Yeah. Well, and he says he feels a little nervous and neurotic going out there.
should.
Yeah, Jay thought. Well, it's been a long time. What, 16 years or something?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, since he's played. And he's been through so much. I really feel scared for him that he's going to, harm his body.
Right.
I
Even
don't
other
know.
people will think that
I
way.
feel worried about him.
You're right.
And
So keep him safe. Vote him out early.
but the funny thing is he's continued to watch the show all through these years at home, and he said he feels a little starstruck by all these people out there he's been watching on TV all these years and wanting to get back out there. So he's a little bit intimidated.
That's an odd
Playing with
perspective,
them.
I guess, given
Yeah, I
what
guess,
he's done.
but-
And yeah.
Well, but you don't always
Whatever.
see that, especially he's another nice guy. He's a really good guy. I think he's a very caring guy.
From what we know,
And,
yeah.
yeah, from what we know. So, and he really wants this experience, but I think he would be okay with the experience, whether he won or not. And I think that could hurt him too. So I put no merge.
Right.
I don't think there's no way people are going to let Ethan get anywhere
No.
near the end, because that would be player suicide. So I don't think anybody's going to do that. So, though we could go deep if you got in the right alliance, but I still put no merge. But I am happy to see him play.
Moving on, we got Jeremy Collins.
Jeremy. I don't know. I don't know if I was as impressed with Jeremy during the seasons he played as I feel now.
No, we were pretty impressed with him in
I
Second
don't
Chance.
know. Well,
Yeah.
I am now, but I didn't remember being that impressed.
Oh, okay.
But I do, and I am. So I'm really liking Jeremy too.
Oh, yeah.
And they shouldn't let him anywhere near the end either, because that boy could win too. He says that he stopped working out. He knew Tony and Tyson were working out, and that maybe he could use them as his meat shields.
Mm-hmm.
So he stopped working out to kind of play. He doesn't look like he stopped working
yeah,
out.
exactly.
And he kind of wanted to play similar to last time.
Well, he's a firefighter. He had to maintain a certain condition anyway. So
yes, it used
and that was one of his big strategies was the meat shield strategy. So I'm not surprised that he's talking about it again. Yeah, and flexible groups of people to accomplish specific goals.
But he says he can't remember a lot about last time. That he and Stephen Fishbach are really close. And he says, Stephen will say, hey, you remember when this happened? And he's like, no, I don't remember anything like that. I remember nothing. He was so intense and so driven that he said he really wanted to kick back a little this time and at least try to enjoy and remember his experience.
He was a man on a mission, that's for sure. Yep.
Well, as soon as they say $2 million, that's going out the window. He's going to go right back into, dang, I need this money for my family.
I got that. I got Jeremy making the merge for sure.
Oh, yeah. I think he's a very big threat in this game, but I think he's going to push his way and definitely merge.
Next up, 1L Michelle.
All right. Michelle's 29 now. She seems very determined, and she talks a good game. And I think she could follow through, but I'm just not drawn to her. Just like last time. You were.
I was because what I saw was here's that strong middle. And she's got what she needs. I think she's got that Natalie White element that she's connecting with people. And
no, she don't have that.
That's how she won. She had a great social game. And you didn't get to see it because of all the other people that were there, all those other personalities, and the Aubrey fans were just outraged that Aubrey didn't win.
Well,
but we know now that from watching multiple seasons of her play,
I had Aubrey to win.
She doesn't have a good social game. It's still not there.
Yep.
And you saw it when Aubrey got dumped to the side in Game Changers and just completely
Aubrey was my USB.
left out of everything. There really was a difference with Michelle's capability and Aubrey's. There's a reason why Aubrey didn't win that season.
Well, Michelle says that she has more game now than she did before, and that she is excited and ready to try out some new tools. So
she's got the skill set to be in that same kind of under the radar in the middle position. There's people that are just going to jump screaming out ahead of her, and she'll be more than happy to let them do that. And while she moves and progresses in the game, and I do think if she gets in that strong alliance, she could go really deep in the game. I've got her. Got her making the merge again. Oh, definitely I have her making the merge. But though I could see that they could target her just because she's not as familiar to them as somebody else. But she's likable. She's not threatening. Yeah. I wouldn't be happy to see her win, but I could see that she could go very deep and get there. She's got the talent, I think. Okay, speaking of talent. Yes. Natalie Anderson. Another one I'm super excited to see play again. Oh, yeah. Seeing her go on that revenge tear in San Juan del Sur to avenge Jeremy and her sister. Oh, yeah. Right? So that I 20. Really enjoy. I didn't like that. But you didn't. That's why I said it. But I did really like watching her play and how she would play dumb. Oh, I wasn't supposed to vote for that person. That's so unfortunate that they got voted out and I made a mistake. Jeez, and I made a mistake. I think she's a force to be reckoned with. She won't be able to play those games again. I think she'll be recognized for that, but she's got a great skill set. And I would vote her out as soon as possible. I'm excited to watch her play. Ooh, me too. Yeah, except the next lady who's there that's just overshadowing all the females in the game. Okay, I wasn't done with Natalie yet. Okay. What else would you like to say about her? Just that I don't think she will play under the radar. I don't think she's even capable of doing that. Well, she's loud and brash. And so she was concerned about not having the same fire in her belly, so to speak,
because before she was fighting for her 20. Mm-hmm. And she wasn't sure what she was going to do this time. And I thought, oh, honey, the minute they say 2 million, you're going to dive in head first. She will.
All right. Well, I got her making the merge.
Oh, well, of course.
But that's really about the next big head that'll get hunted.
Parvati. Let's move to Parvati.
Yeah.
Who's 36 now. And I love Parvati.
She's the most compared to female player in the game.
She is one of my favorite players, which, it puts a huge target on her. But she just has a way of being so charming and putting people at ease, and I think she's going to do it again. Even though everybody knows it, I think against all odds, I just cannot count Parvati out. I can't do it.
Here's my take on it. There are 3 heads in this season you absolutely
must get out,
that you want to cut off, and you want to be a part of it.
I think she's
Parvati,
going to worm it in there.
Boston Rob, and Sandra. You want to take those heads, and you want to take the number 1 female. I know Sandra wants to think she is because she's the winner, but I think perception, in what we hear every season with every batch of female players that come in, they most often compare themselves to Parvati. And they never measure up, right?
Not
that we've
many
ever
people
seen.
measure up to
Exactly.
Parvati.
So she's definitely one that people will be proud to take down and remove from the game, and for that reason, she's a no merge for me.
Well, I said I would not even rule out a Parvati win if she gets in a good alliance. Mm-hmm. If they let her get in the door just even a little bit, that she's proven she can be a part of a strong woman's alliance.
Oh, yeah.
Not many women can say that. But
the most formidable female alliance in the history of the game.
Yes, the Micronesia women can say that. And Parvati was a part of that. So I am hoping this group of women on her tribe is going to form a women's alliance. And they should get her out early, like you said, but I just think they're not going to. Therefore, I have her making the merge.
All right, well, we differ for sure there.
Go Parvati.
Last but certainly not least, you got the guy who wrote the book about how to win Survivor. That would
Rob
be Boston.
Maria.
Boston Rob, you're
and
lost.
I'm going, Yul Kwan, I'm on the wrong page.
Jeez. I look over at you. I think that was the perfect setup.
Huh?
And you're lost. Yeah, so Boston Rob. She's back on the right page now.
I had to make you laugh somehow.
Boston Rob.
Rob's only 43. He's younger than Sandra. I didn't realize that.
Okay.
He has more gray hair. Okay, Rob's an awesome player. That's a given.
I'd say mixed.
Well, that's true. He's had seasons where he wasn't an awesome player.
Not awesome.
And that I didn't like him
Marquesas.
at all. So let's be real.
Not awesome in Heroes versus Villains, but All Stars was impressive.
Marquesas.
But he mismanaged his social game, and then Redemption Island, he really brought it home finally and got that win.
Well, Rob was talking about in his interview playing with Parvati. He said he and Parvati could be unstoppable. And they just happen to be on the same tribe. I just don't think Parvati's going to feel that way.
They've played on the same tribe in the same game before, and that wasn't the case. So
yeah, but
we'll see.
He sounded like he might be wanting to run that angle, at least pass it through there. But I don't think she'll do it.
I think there's probably 19 people in this season thinking something similar at one time or another.
The only way I think she would even consider something like that is for it to be so far hidden no one would ever know but the two of them. Because otherwise, definitely she would be picked off right along with him. That can't happen. That's too big a target. So,
fortunately for both of them, I don't think they'll have to worry about it. Because again,
no, I don't.
There's some heads that are going to get hunted, and who doesn't want to take down the guy who wrote the book about Survivor?
Yeah, exactly. No merge. I wouldn't even hesitate to think that Rob's first off on his tribe, Sandra on hers, Rob on his.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
So
even though they've had the benefit of being mentors in the season, like they had a couple weeks break and then they were right back out there again to actually play. And he's got a good sense. He's got a huge advantage over all the other guys and the lay of the land and what to expect, those kinds of things, and had time to quiz people, I'm sure, locals, things like that other people won't have had the benefit of necessarily.
Well, I think he's going to go after Ethan to pull Ethan in. I just don't think anybody's going to buy what Rob's selling this time. They're just all going to go, oh, no, no.
And I really would like to have your head on my mantle.
No,
So.
yeah, exactly. I want that on my resume.
Yeah.
Rob Mariano, check.
Yeah.
So I think he's first out on that tribe.
And actually, when it comes to first out, that's exactly who I have first out. I don't think that tribe's going to win. I don't. I think the balance for physicality and the little bit that we do know about the first challenge is that it's very physical. I don't know if it's immunity or not.
Yeah, but I don't. We don't know if that's immunity or not.
But they tend to have more physical challenges earlier in the season,
True.
And for that reason, I think that tribe's going to end up losing. And therefore, he's my vote for first out.
Yeah, see, whereas I had Sandra.
So you think it's the other tribe, basically?
That's what I have.
Yeah, and I would say the same thing if I thought that the red tribe was going to lose.
Ditto. All right, so who's your final four?
So final four, I went with Denise.
Check.
Wendell.
He's on my possibility list.
Yule.
Him too.
Michelle.
No.
Denise wins the immunity challenge. She takes Michelle. Wendell and Yule make fire. Yule squeaks out a win, even though they're both good at making fire. And Wendell got to the end by making fire in his season in that challenge. But so Yule squeaks by Wendell. So the final three, you got Denise, Yule, Michelle, with Denise for the win. That's how I played it out.
Okay, you want to hear my final four?
Mm-hmm.
Danny, Denise,
Yeah.
Natalie,
Okay.
Parvati, or Michelle.
Okay, you really couldn't
Or Michelle.
get to four.
No. I was like, but will they let Parvati? They shouldn't let Parvati. Maybe they'll take Michelle instead.
Okay.
So, but I'm
In any
still
case,
waffling with
who do you
Parvati
have?
or Michelle.
Who do you have as winning?
Right now, I have Denise, but I'm not sure. And yet, I also think
Isn't that funny? You recognize that we did. We ended up coming up with the same person. We both have Denise winning.
Oh,
You didn't recognize
I didn't
that.
even hear you say that. No, I didn't.
She's so busy.
It's weird
focused on-
how often we do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Kinda. When I think you're off totally somewhere else, but I was focused on Denise. But
Well, we both appreciate and like her a lot in the context of the game. So
yeah.
I guess I'm not
Great
surprised.
gameplay, but I don't know. You know how I do. I waffle back and forth.
Sure. Well, that's what we're thinking right now.
Wait to hear what
January-
everyone else
January
thinks
31st.
first.
Yes. Yeah, we're still a little ways
Yeah.
out from the game starting on February 12th.
It doesn't start for another week and a half, so.
So we've got Edge of Extinction again because, gosh, we really couldn't bear to lose any of these people. We want to continue to give them TV time.
Well, Jeff said something in one of his interviews that, if he has his way, it's probably going to stay because he likes it.
Yep, I gathered that. It's back, even though he got a lot of backlash for
And
it.
that they can get more people. He thinks some of these people might not have, be able to stick around, and therefore they might not be as willing to play if they didn't have something like that would pull people back.
Guess what?
They have another chance.
I don't want those people
Once they're voted off, they have another chance.
not interested in their ability to play the game.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I think that's probably the two things that they're adding into this season. To me, it's enough to have these 20 players back.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm fine with the cast that they have. I mean, we could have had some different ones, and that would have been okay. There's some that they just couldn't have had, especially given what happened last season.
But I'm not unhappy with anyone.
And it's more than enough to have this group's whatever is where I was going with that.
Yeah.
So to have
Great.
Edge of Extinction again, messing up the ability to tell the story. And, I really don't want another Chris Underwood kind of thing where someone played 13 days and ends up winning. That I'm not a fan of those elements that undermine the core principles of the game. So we've got Edge of Extinction and we've got the fire tokens that are coming in, and that's the super new thing. So you want to talk about fire tokens? Was there anything else you wanted to say about the season?
No, just that, hey, it is a 2-hour premiere. Woo.
That's good.
And
Yep,
it's
looking
$2
forward to that.
million. Even better.
Yeah.
So that's all great. So, what did you find out about the fire tokens?
So there was an article on EW where Dalton Ross was talking to Probst about it, and this is what I've gathered right now. So this is my interpretation of it.
If you don't want to hear about the fire tokens.
Yeah, if you'd rather wait to February 12th to hear about them, I guess. I don't know. In any case, everyone starts with one fire token, and fire tokens can buy items in the game while you're actively in the game, and it can buy things while you're at edge of extinction. And the winners of a challenge will be awarded more tokens. So if your tribe wins when you're in the first half of the game, you can get some more tokens.
Everybody?
Yeah, everybody on the winning tribe.
They get tokens.
Yeah, will get tokens. Okay. And players in the game that are actively in the game can spend fire tokens to buy items. And they can also share and pool tokens to purchase items.
Oh, like food.
The purchase of items can happen. Yeah, food's definitely on the list. The purchase of items can happen at any challenge. So a tribe can show up at a challenge, and if pooled their tokens, or some individual may have enough, they decide they want to get something to make things a little better.
Tribe.
Well, or for themselves.
Yeah.
The items that Probst referenced that are initially available are coffee and pastries. That costs 3 fire tokens. You could get a small bag of beans for 4 tokens. There's like 3 4-token items. A small bag of beans, 2 pillows and blankets, also 4 tokens. Or an advantage in the challenge is 4 tokens. So that's interesting that you could show up. I wonder if you can show up at the challenge and buy an advantage for that challenge. I think that's what that's saying. For 5 tokens, you can get a regular bag of rice, or you can get a tart. So that's what the menu looks like right now. So you could have a tart right out of the gate if you don't already. I guess that is saying you don't have one.
That
if you were to pool your tokens,
can be a really big twist in the game. People could get really angered about a lot of things like that.
Sure.
Or, resentful.
Yes.
It's another way to create problems.
Yeah, I want to come back to that too about. So there's interesting possibilities that you're imagining. There's pros and cons as you're going through. Here's the other part of it. When you get voted out, when you get sent to the edge of extinction, you have to will your tokens to someone who's still left in the game. So if you've got 5 tokens, you got to pick someone to will them to.
But that could also tell you who they've kind of made some deals with, maybe.
Sure. They're counting on this. They're hoping this sets up these kinds of connections. There are advantages available at the edge of extinction that are only useful to those still in the game. And so you get sent to edge of extinction and you have no fire tokens, but there are advantages that you can sell to someone who's still in the game to get some fire tokens, because you can buy things for yourself with fire tokens on edge of extinction. It's just when you get there, you've got no tokens.
Would they be allowed then to send a message to someone?
Here's how Probst said that it works.
Okay.
You're a good straight person here. He says, if a player at edge of extinction has an advantage, they can offer to sell it to someone still in the game. But the deal is done completely in secret. Probst said that you would send the advantage, and it says this advantage has this power, and it costs this many tokens. You have until sundown to pay for it. If you don't, it goes away, and there's no deal.
Deal or no deal.
So the advantage will disappear. It'll expire at sundown.
Okay, so they either have to...
So there's a timed element to it, which is good. Timed pressure and negotiations is always interesting.
Yeah, but how do you get a message to somebody that quickly if you have no tokens?
Well, you don't know. You don't know who has the tokens, but if you get that offer and you don't have enough, then that's going to potentially prompt you to say, okay, maybe I can share this somehow with this other person. Can we pool and get enough
Yeah, but I
tokens to
thought
get
they were
this?
on Extinction Island. They don't get to take tokens out there.
Yeah, this is how they get tokens. They're selling the advantage, the in-game advantage to get tokens, and then the Edge of Extinction player that successfully sells an advantage can use those fire tokens to buy advantages for them and helping their big return to the game challenge. So they could buy themselves potentially buy themselves some comfort things for Edge of Extinction, or they could
Or food, maybe?
yeah, sure, that would count as comfort. They could also buy something that would give them an advantage in that challenge where they get an opportunity to re-enter the game.
Okay, well, still a little bit confusing, but
How so?
I just don't know how they'll be offered to buy food or this or that or the other.
There's a menu for those things, like we talked about for the
okay.
people that's in game. Coffee and
Yeah,
pastries.
but in game,
3
I'm
tokens.
talking about people out of game.
Well, it could be the same menu.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. I guess we won't know that for sure till it gets in there, but I guess we'll just assume.
And I'll make sure to include the EW link and the Inside Survivor link where they talk about that fire tokens if you want to look at it yourself and dig in a little deeper.
So that makes sense why they have new this season a private voting area that's upstairs and inside of a room where people can't see in
Okay, how are you connecting them?
at Tribal Council. Because that way they could receive offers while they're in there voting, or they could
The offer
get
comes before
something,
sundown,
or
sunset, so
okay, well
comes
that
earlier
does.
in the day.
But they said, I'm telling you, they said in case there was something up there for them when they come to vote.
Okay,
They now have a private room for that,
that's where they could get the advantage. All
where they
right,
go to vote.
whatever
So,
it is.
Well, I wasn't sure how that was going to work, but that's
If they do the deal, it would conclude there. Is what
yeah,
you're
because
thinking.
they took the Canada crew through the set for Tribal Council and showed the little voting room.
So I think this obviously offers a lot of interesting possibilities. I think this and Edge of Extinction are basically because Probst and company are bored and they're trying to come up with new ways to make things interesting
Now,
for
Jeff
themselves.
says that they're trying to keep moving forward with the ideas to keep people interested.
Yeah, but you don't need that when you got these people here in the
Well,
season.
they
In
don't
any
agree.
case, what Edge of Extinction we know does, and what this fire token element is going to do, is take time. So you're not going to see something that's going on at camp because of this. You're going to miss something that's
Yep.
important about the social game, and which is one of the things that I think a lot of people have been asking for. Come up with more creative ways to give us insight into how people are perceived in the social context of the game, instead of surprising us with winners that we have no way of knowing about. Or, even with Edge of Extinction, if they had just said, well, it's over at the merge. Like, okay, you want to have it to make it interesting. You're worried that you're not going to get more viewers or whatever if you're not introducing these new
Yeah, I would
elements.
prefer that it be
But don't-
over at the merge.
Don't
myself.
make it so someone comes in at the last minute and they've played 3 days in the game, because
Yeah.
that potential exists. And then the only thing that we got to see was them out at Edge of Extinction, where they've been basically working this huge jury the whole time.
Are there any egos in this game that would allow them to walk out of Edge of Extinction?
Oh, Tyson would do it because he thrives on being a contrarian and going against expectations.
He would give up
Yeah,
winning $2 million, possibly.
he could. Yeah, he's erratic at heart. We've seen that.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but okay.
I think the $2 million is more than enough enticement, but he comes to mind.
Okay.
Just like if someone was having a really hard time emotionally with something, they could.
All right. Well, I think we covered most of that for the game-wise stuff. Other than there is a special on this coming Wednesday night, February 5th, on CBS called Survivor at 40, Greatest Moments and Players. So if you're interested in seeing that, then they're celebrating the 40th season.
Yeah, great. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to wrap it up here. We want to say a big thanks again to Paul for that roster and the website logo for season 40. Awesome job as always, Paul. Thank you, sir. Big thanks to Steve for all his work in getting that JSFL website up and running, and it is ready to go, right? It's ready to make your selections. Everyone who was still playing in the game the end of last season, you're already signed up. Your passwords did not change. We don't have any records of your passwords anyway, so make sure you keep those on your own and know what your username and email that you're using are. And want to say a big thanks to Jeremiah for maintaining and being that shepherd of the flock over there on the SFP fans page at Facebook.
Also, if you're new to JSFL, we've had a lot of inquiries during the last few weeks. You need to register before the deadline of 7:30 Eastern Time, 4:30 Pacific Time on February the 12th in order to play this season. Registration will then be closed at that time. So be sure to go in and read the official rules and that's listed on the webpage, and you need to select a USB 24, which is the person you think will win this season, and that's for a possible 24 points if they do win. So be sure to hit submit, and if you don't, you won't have a USB.
Happens.
Every
Always
season.
happens.
Every season.
Don't be that person, though.
Yeah, people. There's always too many. Okay. You can check that when you go back to select your person that you think will be voted out first in your 4 safe picks. Your USB should be in bold letters on that page as soon as you choose it. And if it isn't, you don't have one. So go back and redo it and be sure to hit submit. So that's it.
Right now, we're set up for 1 vote out as far as we know, even though it's 2 hours.
It's 2 hours, but we
don't have any clear indication that there are 2 vote outs, that it's a double episode in one or anything like that. So that's pretty much where we are. I'm sure somebody would have asked that. All right, Joanne and I have gone through and done the broad strokes and the re-referencing of these previous winners, and we're on to part 2 of our On the Grill preseason analysis. Your feedback, we'd love to have you participate in the show, is due by noon on Saturday, February 8th. Please keep it in that 3-minute range. You can write it up, or you can record it yourself, or you can call our voicemail line. Easiest to do, not always the best quality, so we can't, sometimes you run into some problems with the voicemail, but man, is that super easy to take advantage of, and we get to hear your voice, which is one of those things that we love. The voicemail number, 206-350-1547, toll free, 844-643-8737. Whether you write it or whether you say it, shoot for that 3-minute mark. And if you'd like to be a part of my side challenge in JSFL, where you end up having to sing a parody song if you lose, like Chris will be doing for us.
That's right.
Next week. Then send us an email before the first show airs on the 12th and let us know that you want to participate in the side challenge.
Yes, you must send an email.
It comes with a psychological cost for some people. So
definitely,
you've been warned. And make sure to give that some serious consideration before you throw your hat in the ring on that, because some people aren't up to that task. And we really
find it very stressful.
Yeah, I find it super stressful.
Too stressful.
Yeah.
I don't play. No, regular JSFL is enough for me. I'm good with that. Side challenge.
The stakes are high in the side challenge for sure.
That's right, because you would have to.
You basically have to perform, whether you do it a cappella or with a backing track.
Yep.
We're looking for a song.
And the winner of the side challenge chooses your song, so you don't even get to choose that. So
you don't even get to angle it in that way.
You have to write a parody of the season by that song
Yep.
and sing it for
Looking
us.
forward to some teacher here shortly.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was the song chosen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, good deal. I am excited.
I know you've been
Are
excited
you a little
for
more
a while.
excited now?
No, not yet. We'll see. I'm looking forward to the listener feedback show and get some more perspectives and takes on
Good.
this. I really look forward to the preseason show for that very reason.
I think the fans get you all excited. about
Okay,
it.
sounds good.
And I need help to, just to make sure who I want to choose. But
Okay.
that's just where I'm leaning now. I got quite a few days ahead. So.
Yes.
All right, it's good to be back. We missed you all.
Yes, we did. Have a good one.